you're probably missing the one vitamin that controls your energy, your mood, your metabolism, and even your ability to burn fat. And the craziest part is that almost every American is walking around deficient without even knowing it. If you've been feeling tired for no clear reason, craving carbs, struggling to focus, or feeling like your body just isn't clicking the way it used to, there's a very good chance this missing nutrient is the underlying issue. And once you fix it, your entire body can shift gears, almost like flipping on a switch you didn't realize was turned off. Most people think they need more protein, more magnesium, more electrolytes, or more supplements. But there's one vitamin that sits upstream from all of those things. It's the one your metabolism depends on to function smoothly, the one your nerves need to stay calm, the one your brain uses to stay sharp, and the one your cells require just to turn food into usable energy. I'm talking about vitamin B1, thiamine, and yes, it sounds simple, almost too simple, but simplicity is exactly the problem, because we tend to ignore the basics, even though the basics control everything underneath. Now here's the part that surprises people. You don't become deficient because you don't eat enough B1. You become deficient because your lifestyle burns through it faster than you can replenish it. Stress alone can drain this vitamin at an incredible rate. Sugar does the same thing. Refined carbs, energy drinks, sodas, pastries, white rice, even so-called healthy granola bars, all of these foods pull thiamine right out of your body, so you end up in a double deficit, low intake, and high demand. It's one of the main reasons why people who consume high-carb diets often deal with fatigue, mood instability, irritability, and that shaky, wired, but tired feeling that seems to hit out of nowhere. When you don't have enough B1, the first thing you notice is a drop in energy. Not the kind of tiredness where you want to sleep, but that deep, empty fatigue where your brain feels foggy, your muscles feel weak, and your motivation is gone. That's because thiamine is essential in the biochemical process that converts food into ATP, your body's primary energy molecule. Without enough B1, you can eat all the calories you want, but you won't get the energy you're supposed to get from them. It's like pouring fuel into a car with a broken ignition system. The tank might be full, but the engine never turns on. Another thing people don't realize is how much thiamine affects mood and mental clarity. Think about the last time you felt stressed, overwhelmed, or unfocused. Your heart rate increases, your breathing changes, and your brain goes into survival mode. That state burns B1 rapidly, and if you stay stressed day after day commuting, working overtime, scrolling through news, dealing with financial pressure, even just drinking coffee to keep yourself going, you're draining that vitamin in even faster. Without enough B1, your nerves can't calm down the way they should. You might feel anxious, restless, or easily irritated. Your concentration suffers. You may overreact to small things. And you might not even connect the dots that something as simple as a missing vitamin is playing a major role in how you feel. There's also something interesting about cravings. People often assume their cravings are caused by a lack of willpower, but in many cases, cravings, especially for carbs, are tied to low thiamine. When your brain can't access energy efficiently, it asks for quick sugar as a backup. So you eat sugar, your blood glucose spikes, insulin rises, energy temporarily increases, and then you crash again. That crash pushes you to seek more carbs, which drains even more B1. It becomes a cycle that feels like hunger, but it's really your cells signaling that something is missing. If you've ever wondered why some people gain weight even when they don't eat large portions, vitamin B1 can be part of that picture. When your energy metabolism slows down, your ability to burn fuel slows down too. Your cells become inefficient. They don't convert nutrients into useful energy, so more of what you eat gets stored rather than used. When people restore their B1 levels, They often describe a noticeable shift, less fatigue, fewer cravings, a calmer mood, and a more stable appetite. They're not fighting their body anymore. Their body finally starts cooperating. Here's something else that's rarely discussed. Thiamine plays a big role in the autonomic nervous system. That's the part of your nervous system that controls your heartbeat, digestion, circulation, and even your sleep patterns. When B1 is low, this system can become unbalanced. You may notice symptoms like a pounding heartbeat, difficulty taking a deep breath, digestive sluggishness, or trouble staying asleep. These are all signs that your body's automatic regulation isn't functioning smoothly. Fix the deficiency and the entire system begins to stabilize. Let's talk about diet for a second, because the foods that drain B1 are the same foods most Americans consume in large amounts. Anything made with white flour, anything sweet, anything fried in industrial oils, anything ultra-processed. These foods don't just lack nutrients. They actually pull nutrients from your body to metabolize them. This is why you can eat thousands of calories but still be undernourished. Your body spends more vitamins processing the food than the food gives back. It's a nutritional debt, and thiamine is one of the first vitamins to hit zero in that system. Another problem is alcohol. Even moderate drinking interferes with thiamine absorption, so if someone is consuming carbs, dealing with stress, and having alcohol regularly, even small amounts, they're almost guaranteed to have low B1. A lot of people think alcohol's main problem is liver strain, but from a metabolic perspective, one of the biggest issues is how aggressively it depletes thiamine. When you restore thiamine levels, many people feel clearer, calmer, and more stable, even if they haven't changed anything else yet. Let's go deeper into why thiamine has such a big effect on the brain. Your brain consumes about 20 to 25% of your total energy. That energy production requires B1 at several critical steps. Without enough of it, neurons don't fire efficiently. Messages move slower, reaction times slow down. You might find yourself reading a paragraph and then realizing you can't remember anything you just read. You might walk into a room and forget why you went there. You might feel mentally heavy, like everything takes more effort. When your brain lacks its energy code, it can't operate at full capacity. Fixing the B1 deficiency helps restore the brain's natural sharpness. Another thing people overlook is how much your digestive system depends on thiamine. Stomach acid production, peristalsis, enzyme activity, all of these are influenced by the autonomic nervous system, which depends on B1. When B1 is low, digestion slows down. You may experience bloating after meals, a heavy feeling in the stomach, loss of appetite, or inconsistent bowel movements. People often try probiotics, digestive enzymes, or dietary changes, but the root cause can be as simple as a vitamin deficiency. Now, how do you know if you might be low in thiamine? There's no single indicator, but a combination of symptoms is a strong clue: low energy, carbohydrate cravings, mood swings, anxiety or mental restlessness, poor concentration, irritability, tingling sensations in the hands or feet, a racing heart when you're not exercising, shortness of breath when stressed, trouble sleeping through the night, feeling overwhelmed easily. All of these can connect back to thiamine demand exceeding supply. You might be wondering how we ended up with such widespread deficiency in a developed country. The answer is simple: our diet shifted. Traditional diets included nutrient-dense foods, organ meats, whole vegetables, fermented foods, seeds, nuts, that naturally provided thiamine. Modern diets center around refined grains, sugars, vegetable oils, and convenience foods. These foods give calories without cofactors, and without the cofactors, metabolism slows down. So what's the best way to get enough B1? The most natural sources include things like nutritional yeast, sunflower seeds, organ meats, salmon, eggs, and leafy greens. But here's the challenge. Most people aren't eating enough of those foods consistently, and modern stress levels create higher demand, so food alone often isn't enough to replenish a serious deficiency. When people see improvement, it's usually because they combine dietary changes with a quality thiamine supplement. Even a small amount can make a big difference because it helps restore the biochemical pathways that regulate energy, mood, and nervous system stability. But here's the most important part. Thiamine works best when you reduce the habits that drain it, cutting down on sugar, reducing processed carbs, lowering stress where possible, getting better sleep. Improving hydration and electrolytes, all of these increase your body's ability to hold onto the vitamin. It's not just about adding one nutrient, it's about removing the lifestyle patterns that constantly deplete it. As your thiamine levels rise, you start noticing subtle changes first. You feel calmer in situations that used to make you tense. Your energy feels steadier throughout the day. You don't get that afternoon crash. Cravings begin to disappear, especially for sweets. Your sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Your thinking becomes sharper and more focused. You're not as easily overwhelmed. You feel more balanced, more grounded, more in control of your body. One of the most transformative things people notice is that food stops controlling them. When your cells actually get the energy they need, hunger signals become normal again. You eat because you're hungry, not because you're tired, stressed, or chasing quick energy. That single shift alone can change everything from weight balance to mood stability. The real message here is that your body isn't broken, it's not failing, it's not weak, it's responding to a missing piece. Fix the deficiency and the system begins to realign. You don't need extreme diets, complicated routines, or stacks of supplements. Sometimes what you're missing is the simplest, most fundamental nutrient that your body was designed to rely on. And the reason this vitamin is the one to fix first is because everything else becomes more effective once B1 is restored. Your sleep, your metabolism, your mood, your focus, your digestion, your ability to stay calm under stress, all of it improves because thiamine is required for the foundation of energy production. When energy improves, every system in your body functions better. It's not magic, it's physiology, so if you've been searching for the first step, the one thing that begins to realign everything else, start with thiamine, start with the vitamin, and almost everyone is missing. Start with the nutrient your metabolism has been asking for but couldn't put into words. Support it through diet, support it through better habits, support it through awareness. Because once you fix this deficiency, your body can finally do what it's been trying to do all along, function the way it was designed to.